Good morning, everyone. Today, we will continue the last session of this training. So we want to start with chapter 6, application and regular thinking. So we want to talk about to runoff. So what is the runoff? Runoff is a critical component of hydrological cycle representing the portion of precipitation that flows over the land surface toward river, lakes, or other water bodies. It is influenced by multiple environmental factors, including rainfall intensity or precipitation, topography, land cover, soil type, and rock formation. So, before to explore the runoff or calculate the index of runoff in Lebanon, we want just to define what is the modeling. So the modeling, in general, the modeling allows us to simplify and represent how different environmental factors interact to influence runoff. It's helped us estimate runoff potential in places where it cannot be directly measured. That's mean the modeling is an equation between multiple factors. For example, M equal alpha times F1 plus beta times F2 plus gamma times F3 plus delta times F4, etc. In our case, we want to calculate or representing the equation of runoff as following. So RPI or runoff potential index equation, it's equal to alpha times R meaning rainfall intensity or the precipitation. S, it's the slope or topography. L, land cover, including vegetation and urbanization and road. SO, it's a soil type or the capacity of or the infiltration capacity of the soil. And G is a rock formation. So the influence of the runoff about R. When the rainfall, the intensity is rainfall is higher, so that's mean there is a potential of there existing of a runoff. About the slope, the slope, it's the steeper is a factor to faster the surface flow. Land cover, so the vegetation or forest reduce the runoff instead of urban or road increases it. About the soil type or infiltration capacity, sandy soils reduce runoff and clay soils increase it. About the rock formation, the permeable rock reduce runoff and impermeable rock increase it. So the basic map of the runoff. The runoff was mapping using the three factors: rainfall or precipitation, elevation, and land cover. These factors were combined into a runoff index. The index was classified into low, moderate, and high runoff areas. So the equation of the runoff is equal to 0.5 R or rainfall plus 0.3 slope plus 0.2 land cover. Always the summation of the weighted coefficient is equal to 1. We can also try different scenario. For example, to to put 0.4 R or 0.4 S and 0.2 LC, for example. But also make sure that the summation of the factors equal to 1. Here we don't use the soil map and the rock map because it's not available, and maybe we can add more factors. So this is the final map of the runoff generated by the Google Earth engine using open source. Now we want to talk about the terrain analysis. The terrain analysis is a process of studying all the physical features of the Earth's surface using elevation data. It involves deriving characteristics such as slope, aspect, and relief from a digital elevation model to understand the shape, steepness, and structure of the land. So the main output of the terrain analysis is a DEM, slope map, and hillshade map. What is the DEM? The DEM represents the bare ground surface of the Earth, the elevation of the terrain with no object like trees, buildings, or other structures. Why we use the DEM in cartography and GIS? For the hydrological analysis, like modeling water flow, drainage network, and watershed analysis, and to study or map flood risk. And we use also for the terrain and landform analysis, deriving slope, aspect, and hillshade map, and identifying landforms useful for erosion risk studies and soil conservation. Also for the octorectification of satellite image used to correct geometric distortion in aerial or satellite imagery caused by terrain relief. D for agriculture and land management, precision agriculture, irrigation planning, or soil moisture mapping. Also for infrastructure planning as route selection for road, railway, pipeline, and landslide. And for environmental and climate studies, modeling habitat distribution based on elevation and aspect, analyzes the effect of terrain on microclimates. So we have, when we talk about the terrain analysis, we have two main models. We have the DEM, it's a digital elevation model, and the DSM is the digital surface model. The DSM includes the elevation of everything on the Earth's surface, like trees and buildings or power lines. So the use of DSM is for urban planning and 3D city modeling to create realistic 3D visualization of urban environment. And we can also use the DSM to calculate the solar radiation and energy modeling to estimate the solar exposure on roof of solar panels installation. We use also the DSM in telecommunication. Also in the forestry and vegetation analysis, we can measure the canopy height and the forest volume. Also, the DSM is used for the air navigation and safety. And we can use the DSM for the 3D visualization and virtual reality. In summary, this figure shows the difference between the DSM and DEM. And blue line, this is the DEM, the DEM or DTM digital terrain model. That's mean represent the ground without trees or buildings. And in green line, dashed line, this is the DSM, digital surface model, which means the surface, including the height of building or trees or the valleys. We can use the Google Earth Engine to calculate automatically or not calculate, to map automatically the DEM. For example, in our case, we generate the DEM map of Lebanon. Also, we can use the Google Earth Engine to visualize the slope map. Here we are the two types of slope, the percentage and degree. We can represent the slope in each type. For example, this is a map of slope of Lebanon, representing with the slope degrees. Also, the Google Earth Engine can generate the hillshade of an study area. In our case, this is the map of Lebanon. So now let's explore the rainfall analysis. Rainfall analysis, or the precipitation. We can use the Google Earth Engine to map the annual rainfall in a year, for example. So it's involve measuring, mapping, and interpreting rainfall data to understand temporal variability, spatial distribution, and extreme event. This analysis is essential for hydrology, agriculture, climate studies, and disaster management. The force application or force output of the Google Earth Engine, we can also map the LST, or land surface temperature. It's the radiative temperature of the Earth's surface as measured from satellite thermal infrared, including how hot or cold the land surface. Also, we can mapping the water bodies using the NDWI, the water index. So last time we saw the index of water. The output was the mapping of the Crown Lake. So we can apply this index between two different years to finally obtain the difference of, or the reduction of the water surface in the water bodies. For example, we show in the map the reduction of Crown Lake in summer between 2019 and I think 2025. Okay, 25. So this is the reduction of the Crown Lake. This is an index about the climate change and the missing of the precipitation. We are today in November, and till now there is no precipitation and no rainfall. This is a direct effect of the climate change. We can also calculate the NDVI anomaly, or the drought indicator. We saw also last time what is the mean of the NDVI. So the NDVI anomaly is equal to current NDVI minus average NDVI. And we compare the values with this table, and we obtain the classification of the vegetation. This is the map of the NDVI anomaly. Now we want to look to the Google Earth Engine, and let's apply the exercises from 15 to 22. You have in ناس ندور sorry, you have an internet issue. So by using this code, first step, we load or define the region of interest. Second step, we load the DEM SRTM.
Mr. Jawad, please share your screen.
The function clip.
Share your screen, Mr. Jawad.
Clip. And we use the visualize and use the map.center and map.add layer. And finally, we add the legend and we click run. So this is so for visualize the DEM. First step, we load the feature the feature collection of the Lebanon. Second, we load the DEM and clip the DEM to Lebanon. And finally, we define a legend. We can also, if you want to use or select or draw a box from here or any or region of entrance or change the region of entrance or selection a study area and to generate the DEM for your projects. شو حيدر مش حال مش كتير. The second exercise is the slope. We follow the same steps always by define the region of entrance and load the DEM, and we use here a function ee.terrain.slope to calculate the degree of slope, and finally we add the map to the layer. And we use this code to visualize our results and to add the legend to the map viewer. مش فاطمة شو المشكلة؟ Also follow the same steps for or to visualize the hillshade. Define the region of entrance for Lebanon and load the DEM, and we use the function ee.terrain.hillshade, and finally we define a legend, and by click run the hillshade will appear in the map viewer. For the annual rainfall, always we define the Lebanon shapefile or the region of interest. Here we want to load the Choueib's rainfall data and filter by date and by bound. Let's take, for example, in 2023, from 1 January to 31 December. And we filter the Choueib's by bound using the function .filter bounds. And we use the function .sum.clip. And click run to add or to visualize the rainfall for Lebanon. الحين لا حمام لحق مع علي مع حيدر لا Okay. If anyone have a question, please please text me in the inbox. كنا صرنا مع السمع. Just remember always to manage our data, use the repository and the folders and the files. So we go to the new and click on the file. By click on the file, rename the untitled file here by the name of the code or of the project, and click OK. And when we finish the code, click on save. Jawad. عملتوا الخمس exercises ولا يكون خمسة الاس
دي بس الشيف فايل بس.
لا الشيب فايل كله، بس الفايل اس بي اكس بلا عملنا سelection كلهم. اس بي اكس ما تعمل سelection. لا عم بقول لك انه ما في فيتشر او ما في بوينت. فيك تعمل اكثر من طريقه، او انه تحددي له لبنان، ساعتها هو بيروح على لبنان بيعمل مابينج للووتر بوديز. بس انا اللي كنت عامله انه كنت كاتب نقطه بالقرآن وعامل بفر على 5000 متر، عامل بفر زون 5000 متر كمان لك، واعمل لك البوينت موجوده. رح احط لك الكود هون شوفي. هون رح تلاقي انه في بوينت بالقرآن هون. صح. روحي على البوينتس هون، اعملي زوم على القرآن وحطي بوينت بقلب الليك. فاطمه زوم على القرآن. زوم هون بسي هون على البوينت بس كليك هون. مش حاجة آخر. لينك. لا ليش؟ طيب. يلا حنعمل لك الناس. Now we want to map the water body or the reduction of the water body of the Quran Lake between the 2 years 2019 and 2025. So firstly, we want to define the region of interest. To define the region of interest, we can use more than method. Here I go to define a point from the drawing tools, and by click on this add marker, I put a marker here in the Quran Lake. By clicking here, the variable will automatically define as point and with the geographical coordinate here. Then I use the buffer zone about 5 kilometer to clip this feature or the NDWI to this buffer result. As a result of the reduction of the water, we obtain a total water area in 2019 and a total water area in 2025 in meters square and in kilometers square. And we can detect or the change in kilometer. ايوه في عندك So as a result of the mapping of reduction water, we can monitoring, for example, for a 10 past year, the reduction or the variation of the water, the surface of the water of any water body in both winter and summer. Now we want to map the drought indicator. Always we define the ROI and we load the data, the NDVI data from the MODIS sensor. And we define NDVI mean and NDVI current and NDVI anomaly. And we use the function dot subtract and finally we add the layer or the result to the map viewer and use a legend to read the results. محمد Finally, we want to map the runoff areas. To map the runoff areas, we use the 3 factors. Absolutely, we can add an equation included more than 3 factors, like soil and rock. So here we use the 3 factors, DEM and rainfall and land cover. We load first of all, we define the border. Second step, we define and load the factors, the 3 factors, the DEM and rainfall and land cover. We assign a weighted runoff index. That's, for example, 0.5 for the rainfall and 0.3 to the slope and 0.2 to the land cover. And we apply the equation. Here to visualize the result, we use the classification, a graduate classification, and finally we add a legend by click run, the rainfall map will appear in the map viewer.
بس وصلت للسيف كده مش عارف
Save. A quick reply about the management of our data or our code in the Google Earth Engine. So first thing, click on the owner here, go to new and create a new repository file. Let's name, for example, Jawad. Click create. The repository file will appear here, but is empty. To add a folder or files to the repository, we click on the directory, the target repository, and click to new and add a folder or a file. Add folder 2.2, 2.1, and add another folder 2.2. Add a file 2.2.1. So this is the repository here, Jawad. This is the two folders, 2.1 and 2.2, and this is our code or our file. We can drag this folder, this file in one of the two folders here. By dragging here, the file will appear in our folder under the repository Jawad. Here we have another repository, namely Lebanon_border, with one file, with one folder, include many files. Go to the file, type print, for example, run. This is the result. Click save. And the script in the file will save.
فنزل المادة برايت.
To download to download the result from the Google Earth Engine to our drive, go to the file coordinate system. The first step was to load the Lebanon shape file, and the second to inspect or check the coordinate system. Then we reproject the coordinate system from WGS84 to the UTM zone 63. We calculate the area in meter square and in kilometer square. And finally, we use this function, export.table.to-drive. When we run the code, the tasks here will appear in orange color. Click on the tasks and click run here. by clicking run the file when the running of the file will finish, the file automatically saved or saved in our drive. Go to new page, open the drive. شلون اسمه؟ مش جوجل درايف، شلون اسمه؟ جوجل درايف. ستورج. Finally, these codes are ready with you. We can edit these codes by change the directory or the features, and we can use these codes in our project, for environmental project or water project, or mapping of water bodies, for example, or detection of the drought and the runoff or the infiltration water. And Google Earth Engine support many of tools like ArcMap, like Clip Buffer, and we can also convert the coordinate system and to calculate area and length. شو شباب مش الحال؟
بكل واحدة بنحط الكوردينيتس اللي كنت عاملها لعمرو.
بكل؟
بكل 10 يعني متخيل مثلا ما بتاعت الرقم اللي عاملها لعمرو. حط من تحت.
لا. ما مش coordinate system. You should to use the export to table to drive. هيدي. لا بس هيدي الفانكشن.
ده بياخد جوجل خط الزوم حسب
ما عامل زوم. مش زوم كات، لا يعني للفيتشر قصدك. الفيتشر اللي معك بتطلع لك مثل ما هي. فيك تستخدميها بالارك برو او ارك جي اس او اي سوفت وير او كيو سي او اي سوفت وير. وين الكودات؟ لا الكودات من هون بعمل نيو، بعمل فايل من هون انا بعمل نيو. لا كوبي بيست كل واحد بواحد بتسميه مثل ما بدك.
يعني أنا كتبت هيدا الماء الرمل يعني ما بكتب زي DEM شيب
لا ما انت تشوف الكولكشن هيدي شو اسمها ليبانون يو تي ام اندرسكور اف سي يعني فيتشر كلاس. يو تي ام هي يونيفرسال ترانسفور ميركاتور اندرسكور اف سي. سوري الاف سي هي فيتشر كلاس، هيك معناتها بالجي اس. سو انت عم تعمله لهيدي الاف سي، هي غلط. هيدا الفاريبل بدك تشوف شو الفاريبل اللي كان اسمه هونيك بالرن اوف تكتبيه هون. الكولكشن الديسكربشن فيك تكتب اللي بدك اياه، كل شيء بين كوتيشن هون فيك تكتب اللي بدك اياه. الفورمات بتطلعيه مثل ما بدك اس اتش بي او فيك تطلع كمان الفورمات اللي بدك اياه. دكتور بدك تختم شيء؟ تختم؟ تختم امتى؟ يلا بس كمان بس شوف اذا حابب شيء بعد 5 دقائق شوف اذا حدا عنده شيء. يلا حدا عنده بعد شي سؤال؟ شو علي؟ نعم شو الله تكونوا استفدتوا. كيف فاطمة؟
أنا مش عارفة.
بدك تغيري الفار نيم. فاطمة ليك بدك تكتبي هذا run off with visualization. بدك تغيري هذا التكست هون. لا فيك تعمل مثل ما بدك. فيك تغير لك جعفر من هون. رح اسوي لك ها؟ لك من هون فيك تغير بالفيجواليزيشن هون من هون. لا فيك تعمل لك، بس اذا انت بدك تعمله غير اسود، نحن عاملينه اسود وما فيك تعمل فيجواليزيشن مثل ما بدك. بس هو انت بتعرف انه هذا ما له الفيجواليزيشن يعني. هو مسوي هيك قال له لا الدكتور بده ياخذ شيء.
يعطيك العافية أستاذ جواد. إن شاء الله سوف نبقى وإياكم على تواصل في حال تطوير هذه الدورة، وفي حال استكمالها في مستويات متقدمة، ونشكر لكم هذا الفيديو. السلام عليكم.